It's everything, it's nothing. It's life that we discussing. From touchdowns to takedowns, from hustling to bluffing, politics to passion. It's all about the journey. Flip the script on the world, never stop. We keep it dirty. Talking love, we talking loads. Everything you wanna know. From the top, we set the tone. This is the place to call you home. Welcome to everything but nothing, where every topic's on the table.
This episode is something we've been trying to lock down for the last couple of weeks, and we finally got the man on the couch or in the chair, proverbial couch, on the scene, on the set, and we'll loop all that in together here as the show goes on. But we've been trying to get him in front of this camera for the last couple of weeks, and we finally got him. We got one of my Marine Corps brothers, retired Marine, who gave over 2 decades of his life to this country. But what makes this story even more powerful is not the fact that he just wore a uniform. It's what he did after he after he hung it up. Yeah.
I can't even tell you messing up. It sounds normal to me.
I got it.
To me, I don't hear no trip ups. It's just regular talking to me.
All right, I got it. All right, today's episode, we finally got the man. We've been trying to lock down this episode for the last couple of weeks, and we finally got him here. It's one of my Marine Corps brothers, retired Marine, who gave over 2 decades of his life to service to this country. But what makes this story even more powerful is not the fact that he wore the uniform. It's what he did after he took it off. Some people retire and slow down. Some retire and try to figure out who they are again. But this man retired and stepped into an entirely new world. He became an actor, author, performer, motivational speaker. He's appeared in films, stage productions, television projects, music videos to include The Core, Family Betrayal, Better With You, and his upcoming film, For Granted. He's also an author. He's authored Deep Waters, Life's 31-Day Devotional, a book focused on faith, growth, and navigating life's deeper challenges. But beyond the titles of actor, author, and speaker, he's still a Marine, a father, and a man on a mission to inspire people to keep pushing forward. So today we're going to talk about that journey, from Marine Corps to creative expression, from military service to stage, lights, and cameras, and what it really takes to start a new chapter in life where most people think the story is already written. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show my brother, Tommy Gray III. Hey, that's all right. You my first. You my first one giving an actual intro, man. So I appreciate you being patient with me, man. How you been,
It's all
man?
good, man. I'm here for you, dog.
Yes, sir, man. How you been?
I've been doing well, man. I've been doing well. Life is good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, I touched on that intro. I touched on, the military and the acting. So we're going to start with the Marine Corps. How much of the Marine Corps still drives you today?
Well, I would say a good portion of that. Can't really put a percentage on it, but I would say a good portion of it drives me today. And what part of it that drives me is, Marine Corps has, our attitude is, to get it done, or also always faithful, right? We're always faithful to the things that we know we have to get done. And the thing that has driven me, the main principle that has kept me going, is that it's easy to be faithful to things that are easy. Doesn't require a whole lot, right? But it's very difficult and takes discipline to and it requires discipline to be faithful to things that you don't really want to do. But the secret is that you have to be faithful to the things you don't want to do, so you can get to the things you want to do.
Makes sense to me. You gotta do what you gotta do till you can do what you want to do. Yeah. That's how I was always taught. Now, you did over 20 years, 22, correct?
Right.
22 years. At what point did you realize after the military, like you were storytelling or acting was going to be your next chapter?
Well, I always had a passion for acting, even as a kid, and it's just that being in the Marine Corps and even ready to come out, I had no idea how to get into that. I had no idea that I would be able to get into it and be where I'm at right now.
Right.
And so I took the opportunities that came, of course, auditioning and things like that, putting in the work, and doors kept opening. But just like anything else, with acting or any kind of profession, doors may open, and you may be able to walk through those doors. But what got you through those doors won't keep you there, and what got you there won't keep you there. So you have to keep on putting in the work, and that's how I got to where I'm at right now.
Gotcha. Now, on leaving, the military, going into acting,
Mm.
what was the hardest adjustment going from that structure to a creative world?
Well, I mean, not just even with acting and still a regular, 9 to 5 job, things like that. I mean, it's always a transition. But what I've learned for myself was, you have to be able to give yourself grace. We spend all this time in the military, and we're used to saying what we have to say in order for things to get done. We give orders, directives, and our Marines, they take them and run with them because they trust us. But on this side, you still may be very correct in the things you're saying, but you also have to understand that people have their own autonomy, even if it's wrong. so,
Yeah.
so the transition, the main thing I learned in transition was grace. Give yourself grace and give other people grace as well.
Okay. Now, you've been involved in productions. Well, before we get to that, so you've done stage and film.
Right.
What is the difference between performing in front of a live audience and on camera?
Well, performing on camera, if you mess up or a director wants to stop it, the director can always say cut. Right? If you do something on film and the project is done and the director don't like it, they can always edit it. If you mess up while you're filming, they can always stop it.
Right.
They can edit it out, add in, switch things around. On stage, there is no cut.
Gotta
In
roll
front of
with
a
it.
live audience, there's no cut. There's no cut. There's no stop. If you forget a line or you mess up or your partner messes up, you better figure it out and figure it out quickly. Because the only person who will know you messed up is you. And I was reminded of something that I heard Denzel Washington himself say. And I heard Denzel, he said, when it comes to acting, never get away from the stage. Because the stage, theater, is where you really learn how to act. So the
Okay.
difference is in front of a live audience, there is no cut. You be able to figure it out.
Gotta
on the
roll with it.
on the camera, there is a cut. However, if you're on stage and depending on where you're sitting at in the audience, you might not catch everything that the actors say or do, whether it's good or bad, right? So you may be able to get away with some things. The camera does not miss anything. The camera will catch everything. So,
Okay.
so
Yep.
it has its pros and its cons.
Gotcha. Now, since we're already here, which do you prefer? I know you said Denzel said never get away from the stage, but which do you prefer?
I actually prefer film, and the reason why is because with film, you only have to go and or show up when it's your turn or your time to shoot that scene. If the movie has 80 scenes in it, and out of the 80, I have 25. Well, I don't have to show up for all 80 scenes, just for my 25. And that's whenever they schedule it. For theater, it don't matter if I have 2 lines or 200, right?
You
When,
there
when,
all day.
when it's time for practice, everybody gotta be there. I can
It
have
take
one
up the
line
whole
or 100.
day.
It doesn't matter. So while theater It's entertaining. People love the final product. It's a lot of work.
Understood. Now,
But
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that because nobody wants to be somewhere they don't have to be.
right,
So if I ain't got but two lines, why am I sitting here all day long? Like,
right, right,
yeah,
right.
that'll make me not want to be no actor no more. I'm finna go on back. I'm finna go get on somebody's job, man. Yes, indeed. Now, out of all the roles that you've played, from working in the core or family betrayal or better with you, which is your favorite role, your favorite character?
Ooh, that's a tough one, but I would probably say a character in Family Betrayal, because Family Betrayal started out as a stage play and then it transitioned into a TV series. So it was the most challenging role that I ever had, but it turned out to be one of my favorite ones. And it was the role of where I played this crackhead, strung out on dope, on heroin, cocaine. And the reason why is because it allowed me to really push myself. I had to do a lot of studying on those kind of people. And it pushed me outside of my character to really be able to do that. Because with someone who has those kind of addictions, their emotions are never stable. It's a roller coaster. So I had to learn how to cry, how to laugh, how to be angry, all in one scene.
Mm,
Uh, so favorite role, maybe, but it certainly grew me.
okay. And then my next question was going to be which one's challenged you more, but you already told me that one.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, what do they call? They call them method actors, where they actually go out and be amongst like whoever like the type of character that they trying to do. So, were you out like I ain't gonna say hanging with crackheads, but like were you out? How did you learn the characteristics and mannerisms of a drug addict?
Well, believe it or not, I looked at the movie Ray a lot. I looked at I looked at Jamie Foxx and Ray, and I took that and I just kind of broke it down and kept rewatching certain scenes, and then just put my own twist on it. And practice may not make perfect, but practice makes better. So I would practice in my home every day, or I bet the grocery store doing it. People be looking at me like, dude, what are you? Are you okay?
Yeah.
And my daughters would catch me doing it. My daughter would say, Dad, what's wrong?
Yeah, I don't know if I could have done that part. I'd put it, but yeah, that is, nah, can't do that. Now, is that same role the one that you're most proud of?
I would say it's the one I'm the most proud of, simply because it really took me out of my element. I mean, yeah, I was stretched. And so I would say proud of, because I honestly didn't think I could do it. And when I first got the role, I tried my best to back out of it because I didn't think I could pull it off. Um, but I wanted to be faithful to the directors, to the production. So I stuck it out, and I'm glad I did.
Okay. Now, for your upcoming film, for Granted, it deals with relationships and marriage. Uh, what about this film drew you to it?
Well, I would say it gave me a chance to play a professional setting or a doctor, right? So I play this doctor, and this character, he's very polished, but he's very charismatic when it comes to women. So he's able to talk his way, you know, get in, and try to get into women's head and their hearts and their minds. At the same time, while trying to be a doctor and uphold these moral ethics.
Yeah.
So it's a cross on character, across our profession. And so certain roles like that can be hard as well because you have to bounce back and forth. And the thing that makes those kind of roles challenging is that if I'm professional in front of everybody, I'm not professional behind closed doors when it comes to the scenes. So the same look, the same doctor, he can't really sound the same way behind closed doors because it's kind of like he's two different people. He's professional to everybody else, but behind closed doors, he's been sneaky. So you have to be able to change your emotions, your voice, your tone. There are different beats in acting. Beats mean every time there's a different emotion, that's a beat. And that means that during that beat, I got to change the emotion to fit that line.
Okay. Now, working on a film like that, does that change the way you see relationships or commitment in real life?
I don't think I don't think that it changes the way I see it simply because we as people, we're already aware that that kind of stuff exists. There are people in professions who are married and or and doing wrong things with folks they work with. That exists. It unfortunately it always will. You have to know who you are. No matter what character you play, you have to know who you are as a person. So that doesn't change my views at all.
Okay. Now we're gonna switch it up a little bit and go to your book. So Deep Waters. What inspired you to write a 31-day devotional?
You know, I had this gut feeling one day, believe it or not. This was years ago. And it was like, write a book. And I actually replied out loud to myself. And I said, I can't write a book. That's for smart people. I can't do that. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
And I ignored the intuition. But it ate at me. And I think that the main reason, now I can say the main reason why I wrote a book is because I wanted to inspire people because there's a lot of pain in this world. And I come to find out that pain is the address where most people live. There are people who are stuck in this world. For example, I talk about in the book how when you're driving down the interstate, sometimes you look on the side of the road and you see a car that's broken down. And you know the car has been there for a while because it has an orange sticker on it. And that orange sticker lets the cops know this car has been abandoned, stuck, broken down, right? And it just sits there. But how many people in your life do you walk by every day that have orange stickers on them? How many people in life have been broken down, abandoned, or stuck? And most people who are stuck, it's probably not even their fault. What happened to them is probably not their fault, but it's their fault if they stay there. And see, I want to make sure that I help people get unstuck because there are a lot of people in this world who are stuck with orange stickers on them with things that happen to them that's not their fault. If pain is the address where most folks live, I want to help people move out and change their address from pain to joy.
I can respect that. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. You know, like you never know what somebody's going through on a day-to-day basis. Man, we just stuck in our own little bubble, walking around like not a care in the world about what nobody else got going on. As long as we're good, we figure life is good. So,
Right.
yeah, I can respect it. Now, in the book, is there a particular devotional that reflects on your personal journey more than others?
I don't think there's one particular one. I think they all collaborate together.
Gotcha. All right. Now, you're also a motivational speaker. Um, you kind of just touched on it. You know, I think you read my notes over here, man. I don't know. I was gonna say, why was it important for you to encourage people instead of just focusing on yourself and what you got going? But you just touched on that. So, um, that being said, what's the most powerful message you try to share with people through your speaking on your motivational Monday content?
That people always say, "Thank God it's Friday." TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Woof. But I want to share with people that in order to get to Friday, you got to go past Monday. And Monday ain't going nowhere. We can't take it off the calendar.
Yeah.
So so my thought process is this. If I can help you and motivate you, encourage you, inspire you to have a good Monday, I can help you have a good week. If I can help you have a good week, I can help you have a good month. If I can help you have a good month, I can help you have a good year. If I can help you have a good year, I can help you have a good decade. If I can help you have a good decade, I can help you have a good life. And it all starts on Monday.
Once again, I ain't even think about it like that, man. Like I said, I always hear, thank God it's Friday. Ooh, I can't wait for Friday,
Right?
all of that. Yeah. Don't nobody think about no damn Monday. So,
No.
yes, sir. All right, now we're gonna bounce back to the acting. Now you receive recognition from a lot of solidified actors out there. One being Columbus Short.
Right.
How did that feel hearing what he said?
Um, you know, of course it felt good, but in that particular moment, I was really just focusing on just doing my job as an actor. So when he said it, I mean, it felt good. It was encouraging, inspiring. Um, and I just kind of kept it at that because I know that while that feels good and while it is good, that I still have more work to do and I can't stay stuck in that moment.
Gotcha.
So I gotta keep building on that. That moment was great. And it was a blessing, but I gotta keep building.
Yeah, and that was my next question. Did that moment push you to work harder, or like drive, give you more drive and motivation?
Well, I think that it gave me more drive, more motivation, but it also gave me something else. It helped me to see that although there are other famous actors out there, he'll be one of them. That when I walk into the room with these people, I belong there just like them. See, sometimes we feel like we can walk in the room with someone, regardless of who they are, and we feel like we're out of place. But what was so amazing with Columbus Short was when I walked in there, it was almost like we already knew each other because I walked in there and I sat and I sat down, and when I sat down, I was like right next to him. He turned around and he saw me, and he automatically gets up, comes over there to me, and we start talking. And then the vibe and the connection was automatic. So after that, I go on stage, do my audition, and after I get done with the audition, he says, man, I don't know where you from, but dude, you're a star. Like, and you got it. And we start talking and having a good time, and the connection felt natural. So if it taught me anything, that it taught me, like, don't ever feel like just because somebody else may be further along than you are in your profession, don't ever feel like you don't belong. And that's what they taught me. That I can walk in a room with individuals who've been doing this and still belong.
Makes sense to me. You got invited there for a reason. You got invited for a reason. Now, your father, you touched on like, how your daughter looked at you when you were portraying the parts out in public. Um, Being a father, uh, had that influenced, some of the career choices and life's decisions that you made and roles that you decided to take?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they are a big part, a big reason on what I do, and choices that I make. So they are learning to see me. They're starting to see me now on TV. My youngest one's like, Dad, are you famous? I said, I said, so you famous, Dad? And I was like, well, no. She said, because if you are, you be rich, huh? No, 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 no.
She want to know where the money
Yeah.
at.
She's 9 years old and already like, Dad, you rich? No, no. But it plays a big part because they're watching. They see it. And so yeah, I have to be very, very mindful of the roles that I take.
Now, being that they are watching, that they're watching, what do you hope they learn from you on this journey?
That even if, regardless of what profession they choose, that you can be just as good at it as anybody else.
Okay. Now, kind of along the same lines, but not really. What advice would you give to someone that's about to transition from the military and they're struggling to find their next purpose in life?
I would tell them to don't uh don't stress, don't force anything. Uh just have your plan. And once you have your plan, you may not stick to it, and that's okay. See, in the military, we're used to having a plan, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you got to give yourself grace, because when it's time to come out, yes, have a plan, but understand it's okay if it goes differently. That is a part of the journey. And when it goes differently, you're also going to find your purpose. And I'll tell you a secret. Most military vets, before they retire, their purpose has already been shown to them. They just may not know it yet, or may not remember it yet. But that purpose was there when they enlisted. It'd be there when they retire.
Okay. Now, if you could go back to young, I don't know if you can, private PFC. Matter of fact, before that, if you could go back to when you stand on them yellow footprints, what would you tell your younger self?
This too will pass, and every moment that passes, you will benefit from it.
Okay.
Because on the footprints, that's all you can see. You can't see the next day. You just want to get past that. So to tell my future self, yeah, you're gonna be here for 22 years. Then I wouldn't have heard that. 22 years of this? No. What? No.
I want to go home right now.
Exactly. Turn back now. I want to do over.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I made a mistake. But yeah.
Yeah, but I almost didn't get off that bus, but
man, come on now. Yeah, you better have known it. Man, you better have known
hey, man. Yeah, man. Now, if like we kind of already touched on this, like if somebody's listening to this and they feel like it's too late to chase their dreams or anything like that, what would you tell them to motivate them, I guess?
I would tell them, first of all, too late by whose standards? Like, who are we to put a end stamp on the dreams and the purpose that's put inside of us. So I would tell them, if you ignore that passion inside of you because you think it's too late, when you pass away and you leave this earth, right? All those ideas and those passions or purposes that were supposed to help somebody else did not reach them. There are people we will never meet on the side of heaven that we will help out by doing our ideas, our purposes, our goals. And if we don't do them, what happens to them?
Okay. And we'll end it on this. We know you got the upcoming film coming. What's next for Tommy?
Well, what's next is we're going to do a TV series. We got approved for a TV series for Family Betrayal. So Family Betrayal has been turned into an actual TV series, and we've been approved for 4 seasons already. 4 seasons. Each season had about 9-10 episodes. And as of right now, the executive producers, they're working on getting it on certain networks, Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, things like that. And so what's next to me is the TV series, Family Betrayal, where I play the character called Sam, and he does not start out as a crackhead. He starts out clean, and then he goes from clean to being a drug addict. And we got 4 seasons already, so I'll be on the TV screen.
Gotcha. We'll be on the lookout for that, man. Man, that was a good conversation, Tom. First and foremost, I want to thank you for coming through the show today, sharing with us your journey. What we heard today is a reminder that life doesn't stop after one chapter ends. Sometimes the most powerful part of a story is the chapter that writes itself after people think the book is finished. 22 years in the Marine Corps, instead of slowing down, you stepped up and stepped out. From the stage plays to films, motivational speaker, author, everything that came along with that. And for one, I think the biggest takeaway from this conversation is that discipline, faith, and perseverance can take you anywhere, whether that's the battlefield, the stage, or the big screen. So if you're listening to this, know that if you're in a season of transition, maybe you're leaving the military, maybe you're changing careers, maybe you're just trying to figure out your next move in life, remember that it's never too late to start over. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Tommy, again, I appreciate you. For those out there watching, please make sure you subscribe, like, share the episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, and as always, stay tuned. We got more coming. We talk about everything and sometimes nothing. Y'all have a good one, man. Thank you. Be blessed.
Absolutely, man.
It's everything, it's nothing. It's life that we discussing. From touchdowns to takedowns, from hustling to bluffing, politics to passion. It's all about the journey. Flip the script on the world, never stop. We keep it turning. Talking love, we talking love. Everything.